We have to talk about this Nike ad that just came out. You saw it yesterday. You were like, you guys all need to watch it. It's all about the girl power. So before we start talking about it, take a look.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
It's super, it's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical, irrational, or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy.
So you get a little bit of a taste right there, and it goes on for another 45 seconds. Pretty powerful, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and I think it talks about just like the double standards that women face in all workplaces, not just in sports. You know, we're always called crazy, delusional, overreacting, too emotional all the time, but we're also very powerful, and yeah, like they said, it's only crazy until you do it.
Yeah.
Not everyone's happy about this ad, I have to say. When we initially saw it, we were very excited, but I was reading some of the YouTube comments because it's a huge trending YouTube video. People are commenting that, you know, they're kind of capitalizing on these movements with gender equality and things like that, and that they don't treat their own factory workers so fair in China and Vietnam. So that's kind of the other side of it, but what do you guys think?
Well, I think it's exciting. I think it's definitely sparking a conversation. When I'm just watching the video now, I'm like, yeah, go for it. I feel like I'm cheering on the people in the video. It just strikes up so much emotion inside of you that I think it's a chance to be excited for, and a chance to work on changing the stigma.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big part of me when I watch that, much like when I watched the Kaepernick push and their marketing push with that, and everybody was commending Nike, saying Nike's doing this incredible thing. Look at Nike standing behind Kaepernick. Look at Nike standing now behind women, and they're pushing. To a degree, I'm sure there's some of that. I'm not going to knock Phil Knight and say he doesn't have an interest in that. I don't know enough about what's going on in the factories besides what we've seen with those comments, and I've read some articles about it. But what I do feel like is they're definitely looking to benefit off this financially. They've got numbers, guys, numbers, gals. They're looking at margins, and they're saying, okay, if we take this risk, how calculated is it? And everybody who had any sense knew that this Kaepernick thing wasn't a risk. It was an opportunity for them to generate more revenue, and they knew who their base was. They knew who this would play to, and they knew ultimately the money it would make. I think this is similar in this regard. I think it's a calculated risk. And so there's always a part of me that is skeptical for that reason. I wish I could just immerse myself in it emotionally and love it for just that. There's a part of me that does have that feeling.
I know.
I'm not mad about it, though.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't know how it lines up with Nike's ethics. I was reading some articles this morning, and it's ever changing. I think they're trying to make the factory safer and things like that. People are working for very little money overseas and often overtime. But what I will say is that I think it's cool that companies now are speaking out about issues that matter to people. It's no longer just, hey, buy this product because we're all too smart for that now. We have too much that we're bombarded with every single day. So there's no more just being neutral. You need to speak out about things that you care about, and you know your customers will come.
Yeah, and I guess I feel like it's a business, so that's what you're supposed to do.
True.
I just feel like personally it's a bonus that they're connecting themselves to an issue or something that they feel strongly or they feel passionately about. They're a business. Their job is to make money. If they're not doing that, they no longer exist. They no longer have a platform.
Especially, and if you look at marketing strategists, that's exactly what they're supposed to do, is they try to incite some emotion from the consumer to make their product most desirable. And if you look at the gold standard, if you look at the upper class in marketing for a consumer, marketing to a consumer and marketing a certain brand, Nike's got to be at the top of that list. I mean, in terms of the commercials that they pumped out in 2018, 2019, now into 2019, it's been pretty impressive to see the strides that they've made, because time and time again, it's like, roll this Nike ad and then react to it, because they're doing the right things.
Yeah, commercials are more exciting than they've ever been before, I think. So a lot of them feel like little mini feature films.
And I do think it has a direct impact. Sometimes you watch commercials and be like, what are they doing with that? Does that make you want to go buy what they're pushing? Nike is really hitting a home run with it. All right, well, Twitter is a great thing for certain questions to get posted. Would never naturally come up, right? Well, this one has gone viral, so now I'm going to bring it to the table. Question is, do you think you could defeat in physical combat the most famous person who shares your name. Your first name. A famous Carly, a famous Felicia, a famous Jordan. Who is that celebrity, and could you defeat them in combat? I'll start.
Okay.
So Jordan, I went to Michael Jordan first, but Michael Jordan doesn't have the same first name. It's just a similar name, last name, first name.
I see.
Right there, Jordan Peele, we do share the same first name. And no, that's not Lawrence Holmes, who joins the show from time to time.
Oh my gosh, they do have a similarity.
Key and Jordan Peele of Key and Peele fame for 5 seasons in the sketch comedy on Comedy Central, but also the director of Get Out and the really hot director in Hollywood. I could kick his behind.
How tall is he?
He's,
not
Not
as tall as
That's a great question, and that's what I was about to. That's what I was about to come back with. He ain't 6'8".
Yeah.
He ain't 300 lbs, so I think I could take care of him.
What
He's
would you
smarter.
do? Just,
He's more
pick
talented.
him up and then throw him?
Yeah, it's all about. So in fights, unfortunately, I've been in a few. I'm not proud of this. Not anymore.
Give us your tips,
I'm
Jordan.
grown now. But see the camera right there? Like, it's all about wingspan and reach. Like, nobody's getting between here and here, so
Yeah.
it's lights out.
Unless you're slow.
Yeah.
If it takes you 10 minutes to knock that
That's
hook,
true, and then
you
they can
might be a
get you with the
little slow.
body.
But
But
maybe you
once
can distract them with intense eye contact and be like,
Is that your strategy?
that's the
I don't know. I've
Good.
never been in a fight before.
Shocker.
Good luck with that in the streets of Chicago.
I never want to
I'll
be.
tell you, you can hit me with a couple body blows, but if I get my hands on you, it's a wrap. All right, so who do you
I'll come
guys?
bail you out, bro. Let me know. I'll bail you out. All right, so I was like really nervous to choose this person because I respect and revere her so
You've
much.
talked to this
And
person
I've
before.
met her, and we shared a moment together, you guys. Felicia Rashad. That's who I'm going to choose. And it's actually pronounced Felicia.
Have you seen her on
Felicia
Empire,
Rashad.
though?
I
She's
have
pretty
seen her in
tough on
Empire. She's
Empire.
cutthroat. She don't
Yeah.
play. So she would probably hire somebody to
Yeah, but she put a hit out on you.
to beat me up, but she would win for the pure fact that I can't hit everyone's TV mom.
You can't
You
hit
just
God.
can't do
No.
it.
You
can't hit God.
Right? She's like next to God, like God's daughter-in-law. Like I just can't. I can't. But that would be my person.
I
Felicia
couldn't see
Rashad.
you now. I think this question's now morphed a little bit. I can't see you being a fighter. Have you ever been like back in the day?
Why would you ask me that,
Did you
Jordan?
have you ever scrapped them before?
I'll go ahead and say no.
Have you?
I'll say no.
Could you see?
I
say
just
no.
said
She's
no.
not answering the question.
I just said no.
That's her lying
Look
face.
at you guys trying to read
chord
between the
has been
lines.
struck.
I'll say no.
Her mother's watching like, girl, you better not have gotten in no
I
fight.
just said no. No, do you guys
On
see
the
this?
record, no.
Do you see this money maker here? Okay, we cannot mess with that. This is
got
an
it.
investment.
There it is.
There you
That's
go.
my Felicia
All
right
So
there.
mine, okay, this is such a weird question, by the way, and I would also never want to get into a fight.
Yeah, you're not
but
a
the
fighter.
most famous person right now, well, there's 2 famous Carlys. Carly Simon
Okay.
from the 80s,
Yeah, as
and then
famous as they
currently
come.
Carly Rae
70s.
Jepsen, right? So Carly Rae Jepsen, I love her music so much, so I think that I would definitely lose if I fought her because she would just start singing and I would just get distracted and start dancing and just be like, let's just dance this one out. So she would win.
There'd
She
be
would
so
win.
much happiness
So
amongst
it'll be
the
a
two of
dance.
you.
It'll be a dance battle.
It'll be
Who's
a
gonna
dance
win the
party.
dance battle?
Ooh, I could win a dance battle. You guys have seen my moves on the show
There you go,
before.
Carly.
Yeah. And then you
let
guys
loose.
would join me and we'd all just dance it out and it'd be good.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else I could be. I just really want to meet the celebrity. Like I don't
know, I don't wanna
care.
fight anybody.
Okay, cool. Take your best shot, Beyonce. I just want to meet you.
Yeah.
Then I can walk around and tell everybody that Beyonce did this.
Yeah. I think it would have to be like a compliment battle for me to really want to engage.
compliment battle?
Well, you know, the
Like,
cool
you're
thing
so
is,
beautiful. You're so talented.
this is like when we came up with this discussion, I was like, I could totally see Carly. I was like, Carly's not going to have somebody she'd want to fight.
No,
That's just not in her
never.
DNA. Meanwhile, I've got a list. I'm like, okay.
You came up with yours real quick, Jordan.
Top of the list.
What is cool, though, as I was looking for famous Jordans, is there's not as many famous Jordans as you would think. So I've got an opportunity.
Jordana
True. I
Brewster.
mean, I just automatically thought of Michael Jordan, but you're
Yeah.
right. That's the last name and
Yeah.
your first name. So
I
I'm trying to
forgot
think
that
of
Jordan
who
Peele
else.
was with Chelsea Peretti until the red carpet at the Oscars. And
Who's
I saw
Chelsea
them
Peretti?
She's an amazing comedian. Yeah.
Oh, really?
She was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You should watch her stand-up specials on Netflix. They're so good. But I was like, oh, I forgot what a power couple they were.
And he's got a new
Yeah.
film coming out in March that's going to be another one of those like
Yeah.
psychological thrillers that is going to be really
Yeah.
cool.
Get this. So Mel B, she's actually blasting Lady Gaga over Oscar's performance and says there's a girl code and that Lady Gaga is breaking that code. I happen to be one that agrees. She is too close
You were kinda
to
saying
that
this.
woman's man.
Yeah, you were kind of saying that in the beginning.
It's not necessary. So I pretty much feel like, okay, they acted, they had to do a job, I understand, but we've seen them perform live about 4 times since this movie A Star is Born has come out. And time after time, you don't have to get that close to my man, okay? You can get up there and perform the song without canoodling with him, snuggling with him, giving him googly, sexy bedroom eyes. Like, we're not acting anymore.
I disagree with you.
What?
I feel like this is an extension of the film. This is a gift to the audience and people that love them. Yesterday when I watched it, I was like, I feel like I'm watching Allie and Jack, their characters from the film. If there was something inappropriate going on, they wouldn't be doing it on the stage in front of everyone. This is what people do in duets. This is all about their characters. I support it. I support it.
Man.
I don't think we're going to keep seeing it. I think it's probably done with that performance, but because the film press is done, I have no problem with it.
It's been done 4 times now. Like, why do we keep having to rehash it?
Well, there's an interesting article, I believe it was in Vanity Fair, that talked about, is this a violation of the Me Too movement, where people are actively rooting for these two to come together and forget about the girlfriend that Bradley currently has and the child he has, saying we're basically pitting these two women against each other, vying for the attention of a man. I disagree with that narrative altogether.
Yeah,
I think
I
think that's a little far-fetched when I read that article. What I do think is, I agree with both of you guys. Clearly, I was here for it. I was on my commentary.
Into it.
I love the
really
movie
enjoyed
too.
it. So I was in on that side, but I'm with Felicia on this part. It's a performance, yes, but while you're performing, and it is an art and it is a performance, 100%. I think you could have achieved all that until the moment when Gaga had her eyes closed, sitting close to him, and then opened her eyes and looked
It's
up at him.
creative chemistry.
At that point, it was overdone.
I'm done with this
telling
girl.
a
You have the
story.
cheeseburger, you put
They're
too much
telling a
sauce on it at
story.
that point.
You're
It's
not
too
telling
much.
the story with my man, girl. You better go home and read that bedtime
Well,
story.
she was the
Not
first
with my
one
man.
on her feet when they finished the
Listen.
performance. She's fine with it, Felicia.
Jordan and
She's
I,
fine.
yeah, okay. Jordan and I, we get on this stage every day, and we don't have to hold hands. We don't have to snuggle up. We don't have
Because
to do
that's
anything.
not the story we're telling.
And we have
if you guys
chemistry.
were, if
And
you
it's
guys
really hard for you
were
guys
in a
not to do
film
that
where
with
you
me.
were
I
in love,
understand that.
But we're not telling that story anymore. Just get up there and sing the song.
They are.
We're not telling the story anymore.
It's the same reason we saw the Queen song at the beginning. We said that felt super random. You said, well, they're telling the story of the film. That's why they're there. It's for the Oscars.
But he said,
talking about cuddling on
hold
stage.
He said he wasn't in character. He said he was not Jackson Maine when he performed. He explicitly said, I'm going up there as Bradley Cooper.
Well,
so if that's your theory.
She was not up there as Stephanie Germanotta. She was up there as Lady Gaga.
So that's my
But
point.
that's her on-stage persona.
I don't care what her name is. She better keep her hands to herself, keep her bedroom eyes down, and sing the song on a microphone over here.
go.
2 separate
Let's
microphones.
go.
You let your man
Go
go up
ahead.
there and canoodle with Lady
Coming
Gaga.
up, everybody, John
Mine will be at
Hanson
home.
has his
he
own
better be at home.
strategy.
Where is he?